So I suppose in relation to feedback, the first thing maybe that's important to do is to clarify the role of feedback on the PhD or the academic journey generally. Feedback is, I would say, one of the most knotty aspects of the PhD journey, but it's also one of the most critical. And it's important to remember that at every stage of an academic journey, you're going to have to deal with feedback. If you submit a grant application, you're going to get feedback. If you submit a journal article for publication, you're going to get feedback. So learning of its value, learning how to handle it, and learning how to deal with the emotional aspects are really important. And I suppose it's understandable that feedback will be a core part of the journal because of the journey of the academic journey, because knowledge and ideas are developed collaboratively. They're developed in iterations. They're developed through writing and discussion and engagement with peers. But it can be a bit of a transition for students. So a lot of my students have said to me that one of the most challenging aspects of transitioning from maybe from an undergraduate program or from a taught master's program to a research program is the transition from submitting a text, maybe getting one bit of feedback, submitting an assignment, getting one bit of feedback maybe, and then you're done and dusted, versus on a research program, a piece of writing having multiple iterations and several layers of feedback. So I think beginning the process of learning how to manage that is recognizing that that's an ongoing part of the journey, but secondly, learning to regulate some of the emotions around that. So it's absolutely inevitable and to be expected that it will be difficult emotionally, especially if the feedback will be critical, which sometimes it is. Now, obviously, as supervisors, we should be doing our best to provide feedback that's useful and that's not personal, but it's really important to try and remember when you get feedback, it's not personal. So to try and maybe just feel the sting if there is a sting, and then do your best to try and understand, interpret it, and use it as part of a developmental process.